bottom on bottom, a great poet said this once. I got trauma. You're so sick. All because you wanted to get for an hour. Ooh. Diva. We call that the gay audacity. Welcome back to the Poison Touch Advice Hour, the podcast where Slowbro and Dragonite give you the best and worst advice to deal with all of life's predicaments. My guest this month is a star of Out TV's For the Love of DILF Season 3, morally opposed to bottoming, and a self-proclaimed Pokemon gay. It's DC's own Justin Gross. How are you?
I'm fabulous. I've taken to saying fabulous recently. I think it's time.
So have I.
I think it's time that gay people start saying like really gay stuff again.
I agree. I don't know if I'm ready to go full Tim Gunn voice, but I'm ready to start introducing more just like overtly gay words in my language.
You know, now that you mention it, I think I could do the Tim Gunn voice because there is a kind of authority in the Tim Gunn, powerful, right? Yes,
Designers.
It's exactly.
Designers.
One time I had to do a project for a class recently, like within the last year or so. And one of my professors called my voice sonorous. Have you ever heard that?
Sonorous, yes, I have heard that. That is beautiful.
So do you I think with that compliment in mind, I do think that like maybe when I grow up, like into a big adult gay person, like I could be a Tim Gunn somewhere, like somewhere, right?
I fear we might be on the same path because when I was in school many years ago, I was working the switcher. I used to work the switcher for like all the volleyball games.
Oh shit, nice.
And so I'd be on the control headset, and I remember our director telling us that I had smooth jazz radio voice and that I needed to be a little more aggressive so that people weren't relaxed, because when you're working the switcher and working cameras at like a sports game, you don't want to be relaxed. You want to constantly, be searching, grab me that girl in the yellow hat, grab me this person over here, give me the reaction over there. And my smooth jazz voice was not conducive to that because I sounded like,
you were it was like so chill. You could get this, the libero if you want.
I just a chill guy, I can't help it.
Yeah, I watch a lot of sports media kind of like by osmosis because I live in a very sporty family. But I myself, like, I'm the one person in my entire like immediate family who had no interest in sports, who has no general understanding of most sports, and like has no interest in watching any sports. But I've always, because I've watched a lot of, televised, broadcasted sports media, I have often wondered if doing the camera work is the fun part, right?
It is.
Is it
so
really?
Fun.
Oh my God, tell me more about that, please.
Listen, I don't like sports at all to this day. Never have.
That's even better. That's much better for me.
Never have liked sports.
Okay, yeah.
However, live sporting events or just working a live event in general where you have a switcher and multicam.
Well, that I know
because
I used to do theater.
It's
so
fun.
I totally, that part, I agree, is really, really fun.
I
love to be on a headset. Yeah.
Yeah, I love being on a headset. I love some degree of control is why I do this podcast,
Yes, absolutely.
But I think the best thing for me was searching for audience reactions. It's such a big part of a sporting event is when, people get to be on camera.
Well, yeah, because you're a little reality TV girl. So you like finding these little
you got to find the main character for the moment.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You've got to find the main character in the room. You've got to find the who's the narrator of this basketball game.
Yeah, and you build off that because you keep going to that person.
Is that true?
Yes. If you next time you
watch I'm loving this. Yeah.
Maybe not like a super, super big one because they're like just that sheer of a size, but maybe like a college sporting event. At least this is how I ran the volleyball games. I used to, when highlighting people, there'd be one person. We just keep going back to that person, like once every quarter, half. I don't know what volleyball.
You don't even know.
I don't know, but it's fun as hell.
Okay,
I'll tell you that.
Sure.
Yeah. So it was cute. It was cute.
That's fantastic.
Just bringing it back to sonorous. In what context
God.
was your teacher saying this for?
I had to read poems. I had to
Oh,
read. So
Victor
I am
Yates, you
a
better watch out.
I Oh my God. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. Talk about sonorous delivery. Are you
I'm
kidding?
screaming.
His
It's okay.
his
I don't
video
think any
poems.
of them will be watching this one. I think they stick over to the review caps, you know?
Okay, that's well, at any rate, this is no like talk about, like a nice expressive voice. What an expressive
It is
diva. Also,
very
let me just
expressive.
say, when the show does make it across my feed, um everything I see is screen caps of Victor's like making the most unbelievable face.
Because I'm like, I can't tell if I'm like, oh, he's putting on for the TV. This man is acting. For those of you at home who are wondering what the hell we're talking about, we're talking about Out TV's For the Love of DILF Season 3.
Yeah.
If you watch it on Out TV, you can also watch the companion podcast, the recaps that me and Amario do. Y'all know Amario from Yasshole episodes and the like. You can watch that over at Baby Daddies. Where Justin, was a star of the show, and it's my new favorite first out. Sorry to spoil it, but it's between Justin and Phoenix.
Yeah. And I met Phoenix. I forgot.
I hope
I keep
Phoenix knows
forgetting.
how much we stan him. Like,
I keep forgetting. That's wonderful. I hope so too. Um, oh my God. What were we talking about?
Sonorous. You were reading
Sonorous, yes.
poetry.
I was reading poetry. I am a Japanese major. There was one thing that came after that, like right before that.
Victor Yates being expressive on TV.
Yes, yes. That's the only time I keep up with the show is his like
His
or like
poems
his
for
reaction,
everyone.
his poems and his reaction images. There's this great one from what I'm assuming is an elimination where he just looks like so dead. Like,
Oh, yeah.
and it's the funniest fucking thing on the planet.
It
I
kills me.
I love that guy. I love that guy because oh my God, yes, and he's just like that in real life. That's what
I love
that's
that.
what I meant to say.
I love that.
That's what I meant to say.
That's
Yes,
great.
he is exactly like that in real life. I am a Japanese major. I hence all the Pokemon bullshit.
Gotcha. That was
Right,
going to be my
right.
next question was tell me your
Yes.
journey with Pokemon. I like to ask my guests when they are interested in Pokemon
Please,
what their journey
absolutely.
is with Pokemon
I'll
before we
circle
get
back.
into the advice.
Absolutely. I will circle back. Um, so I had two, I guess like 2 falls ago now, I took a class in on classical Japanese
Oh.
um grammar. It's an advanced Japanese course, blah blah blah, right? And the ending project of it, the final project for the course was we had to do poems and we had to present on like about like a group of 5 poems from a like collection of 100. They were all about a certain topic because a lot of Japanese, like classical Japanese poetry, is very, very formulaic and like very, very theme heavy. They repeat stuff a lot. Which is very like very Japanese in general.
Yeah.
Um, and then we had to record ourselves reading the poem, I think each poem, and then we had to attach each reading to each poem in like a big Google slide. It got very unruly, very impossible to
Mm.
manage, as you can imagine. And I remember just kind of like shooting them off. I either did it in my closet over here, which is like you can't see it, but whatever. Or I might have even done it in my bathroom, which is worse.
Love that reverberation in the audio from a bathroom
Exactly. No, it was
recording.
probably gross. I might have done it once or twice, and like I had to, I'm reading not just Japanese, a language that I can read, admittedly, but I'm reading classical Japanese.
Yeah, so that adds another layer.
Um,
It's like reading Shakespeare.
yes, and
It's
don't
just
get me wrong.
harder.
And don't get me wrong. I'm a Shakespeare girl, right? I'm a Shakespeare guy. I'm a Shakespeare. I love Shakespeare.
I
I'm
love
all
it, but I
about
also do have to translate every line
Yeah,
that I read.
absolutely. That's how it works. So yeah, I remember after once we got our grades back, my professor commented like, "You have a deep sonorous voice," and I was like, "What?
I'll take
I
that.
I yes, me?"
I love it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about my own like pitch or tone. Other than that, like I worry that I have like, big gay voice. But I
I
do,
say the same thing, and then everyone's like,
yeah.
"No, you don't." And I'm like, "I open my mouth and a purse falls out." That's what I hear, you
No, see,
know?
I think I opened my mouth and like a clutch falls out. Like it's something smaller.
Okay.
It's like I open my mouth and like nail polish falls out. Like it's
Maybe
not
that's what I have to
quite,
start saying.
yeah,
Maybe
it's
that's what I
not
gotta start
quite a
saying.
purse. Um, my friend and I have talked about this before because one of their relatives, I don't remember who, must have encountered me once and said that like I was one of the gayest people he knew. And my friend had to be like, no. And we were talking about it. We were like, no, I'm like on the kid like the Richter scale of being gay. Like I'm probably like a 6 or a 7. Like I've known like 8, 9s, and 10s.
Oh yeah.
I've known like you can go up from me. You guys just haven't met a lot of other gay people. Like,
Yeah, I
like
think that's what it
me,
is.
trust me. We can get gayer.
We can.
I'm just weirder than most people. I think. I think usually that's my problem.
I get that. I think
Yeah.
I said this in I think like the episode 1 recap. I think Justin and I are kindred spirits, and the more that we're talking, the more I do feel a lot of these
Yeah, I
similarities.
kind of agree.
Yeah,
I kind of agree.
yeah, I'm seeing this.
Mhm.
Okay, before we get into the advice, let's talk
Yes,
Pokemon.
please.
How'd you get into it?
Oh my God. Yeah, I was just thinking about this the other day actually, because I was reminded of like neighbors that have like long since moved out, that lived right down the street from me. They gifted me or like someone's kid. No, they're like kids were probably just moving out of a Pokemon card phase,
Mm,
and they gave all of their like big bags of Pokemon cards to me, much to my mom's dismay,
of
right?
course,
Because
of
there were
course.
a fuck ton of them
Yeah.
and they went everywhere. She hated that. But yeah, that like I got into the games from that. I like for Christmas like that following year must have gotten like a DS, and Pokemon Pearl was my first Pokemon game. Like I've been playing Pokemon for like basically as long as I can remember, and I've never really stopped.
Yeah, same.
There are definitely times when I'm more into it than not. Um, right now I'm feeling just very into it. The release of the trading card game, like the pocket trading card game, that got me like back in hard.
Oh yeah, same.
I
I,
don't know
I
what they
was
put
opening
crack
my
in that
pack
game.
before we
Yes.
recorded this.
Yeah. They put crack in that game. I don't know. It's whatever. So like now I'm like hardcore back into Pokemon, but like Pokemon Violet came after Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl came out. I was like way out. I
Yeah,
hated those games. I
I
thought
didn't
they
even buy
sucked.
them. I didn't buy
Yeah.
them. No.
And then I skipped Scarlet and Violet initially because I thought they looked ugly, and I do still believe that. But I have since played them, and I actually really like Scarlet and Violet. I thought
I
they were
think the
really fun.
story is really fab.
Yeah, I think a lot of Pokemon stories are never going to be good. That's fine. I don't really care. Um,
It feels like
but
they tried a little more on this one. I
I
was
I
like,
agree.
oh,
Yeah, I
we've
think
got a
I
dead
think they
parent
tried.
storyline.
Yeah, they tried really hard to give 3 developed narratives, and I feel like one and a half of them worked.
Yeah,
Right?
I think when I say I like the story, I really like the son Arvin.
Oh yeah,
Is
because
that
he's
his
a cutie
name?
pie.
Oh
He's a cutie
yeah,
pie, right?
fully. And he takes your main
Yeah.
character on dates. I was like, oh,
Literally, I was like, oh,
yeah,
oh, oh. I have like a philosophical question for you.
yes.
When you play Pokemon, are you playing as yourself, or like are you like full kind of like emergent role playing? Are you like
I
is
think
it kind
about
of
this
both?
often
Okay,
because
yeah.
I play a lot of RPGs.
Okay, yeah, me too.
Many RPGs, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think when it comes to Pokemon, I'm not playing myself. I'm playing
Mm,
a version of myself, maybe a
mm.
more, kind of bringing the inner child to the front, since you are always playing
Okay,
as kind of like a
sure.
10 to 12-year-old, right? So
Yeah,
it's not
okay.
me, but it kind of is me. I'm never like role playing per se. Um, but it is like a younger, more playful version of myself, I feel.
Interesting. Okay.
Whereas like other RPGs, like when I'm playing Persona right now, and I'm
Mhm.
like, I'm not this Japanese twink, not me.
Not me.
Not
Not
me.
me. Which one are you playing?
So I on my YouTube have been playing one day. I'm not a YouTuber. I hate. I abhor the word YouTuber.
Yeah,
But I
it's a
was
wretched
bored.
thing to be. Yeah.
Was bored last year. I said
Okay.
I'm gonna play one day of Persona 3 every single day for an entire year, so that the dates match up.
I love that. That's awesome.
So I'm almost at the end of the game, and the dates have
Yeah.
matched up entirely.
Isn't it? But like, aren't you kind of in the boring part right now?
January is actually like the
Oh,
penultimate kind of
oh, are
section.
you playing Reload?
Reload? Yeah, Reload.
Oh, okay. So I don't have Reload, so I wouldn't know how they like tweak those parts. I've
We're
only ever
almost
played
at like Fighting God section.
right, because I've only ever played Portable. I think, yeah.
Yeah, we're about to fight Nyx. That's like where we're
right.
We're
okay. To wrap up on Pokemon, because this does connect to me studying Japanese. A while ago, when I was taking what will probably be one of my last language classes, because I'm going back to Japan later this year, actually. I'm going to Osaka, which will be really exciting. I've never been.
I want to go to Osaka so bad.
I'm really excited. Oh my god, which
From
one
the
is?
airport.
Oh my god, it's the Haneda one. Oh, hello. I love when they tell Pikachu to get a fucking job.
Get a job, bitch.
Get a job, girl. Get a job, brokey. They make that little mouse work for his lunch, and I like that about the Pokemon Corporation. They would never do something like that to Mickey Mouse. Have you ever seen that meme? This meme? I think it's like a tweet, but I could be wrong. It might even be a Tumblr post where someone's talking about the Disney Corporation, and they say Mickey is a nickname. Nicknames are used for friends and familiarity, and Michael Mouse is no friend of mine.
No friend of mine. Yes,
Michael Mouse is no friend of mine.
That post is crazy. I love that shit. The hardest that Michael Mouse has ever worked is his roles in the Kingdom Hearts franchise. That man was acting.
Don't. We can't.
That man was acting.
I can't. You're right. Admittedly, that is the only time I've ever really cared about Kingdom Hearts. I mean, about Disney, honestly, is in Kingdom Hearts.
I've not seen a lot of Disney films. Most of my Disney knowledge comes from Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts alone. I've never seen Hercules, but I can tell you about it. Oh my
god. That's so I think that's honestly for the best. I don't think you should be consuming Disney content any other way. My Japanese professor asked everybody at the top of the semester one time to explain to her why we were studying Japanese.
Okay.
And I did indeed initially write down, I played a lot of Pokemon as a kid.
Fair.
Thinking that was an acceptable answer. And she handed my little worksheet back to me and she said, you cannot tell Japanese people this.
Because they'll just think you're the biggest weeb ever.
Kind of, yes. Yeah, basically. And yet I will say that in my time in Japan, I've gone the past 2 years running. I've spent more than a month there, or roughly about a month there at a time. When Japanese people ask me, why did you want to study Japanese? I do just tell them I watched a lot of Pokemon as a kid, or I played a lot of Pokemon as a kid, and they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it makes sense to them.
I think from a teacher standpoint, teachers always want more.
Oh, yes.
She wanted you to expand on it. I watched a lot of Pokemon, and that drew me to the larger culture.
No. She wanted me to make no mention of Pokemon.
I'm screaming.
No mention of anything like that. No mention of anything like that. No, none of that. Which I understand. And a lot of in my time learning Japanese, my older teachers have been way more like that than the younger ones. One time I did just straight up have a teacher admit to us I was reading Haikyuu the other day and and that made me giggle. I really liked that.
I would be like, I watch a lot of Shin-chan.
Oh god, well they'd love that. Yeah, they love.
I love Shin-chan.
Shin-chan's Shin-chan's their Bugs Bunny.
Oh yeah,
basically.
he's
Like,
great.
so yeah,
He's
they
great.
love Shin-chan.
I'm looking at the 6 Shin-chan figurines that I have sitting on my
Oh my
shelf right now.
God.
I have so many.
I wish I liked him that much. I just don't I just never watch cartoons anymore as an adult. Like
Yeah.
it's why I really struggle to watch anime. Which is bad for someone who is like studying Japanese and who can like speak Japanese, like you think.
Yeah, you'd be like the
Um
perfect candidate to just
I
like.
hate watching anime. There's nothing I want to do less in my life than sit down and watch anime.
Do you watch like J dramas?
No.
Oh, okay. You gotta get into those.
I watch well, J dramas are like world renowned for being some of the worst
Oh
in
yeah,
like
that's
the Asian
they.
drama sphere. And is that why you like them?
Yeah, I love bad TV.
Okay, all right.
If
There's nothing
that
wrong
if
with
you
that.
haven't gathered that,
That's fair.
I'm sorry. That's so rude.
Now, what are yeah? So, what are you trying to say about my show?
No, I'm not saying
My
anything
little
about
TV
that. I
show.
say that's different. That's reality
That's
TV.
reality
That's
TV.
reality TV. That's
Yeah.
different.
Mhm.
Dramas, the worse, the better. I'm talking. I don't care
Really?
what it is. Like a telenovela. If it's terrible, I'm
Okay.
throwing it on. A J
Okay.
drama, a K drama, where they don't kiss to the end of the season. No, they don't
Okay.
even kiss. They like touch hands.
I hate that shit. I hate that
I
shit.
live for it.
I don't like that stuff. Like I would rather watch a slow burn in a movie than watch like 10 seasons waiting for a kiss that happens at the end of the 10th season.
I think it's so funny. It does
Mm-mm,
aggravate me, but it's like
mm-mm.
watching a car crash where I can't take my eyes off of it.
No, I can't stand stuff like that. I've been watching a lot of 911 recently.
Okay.
I am so obsessed with that show. And I do think that part of what makes like kind of soapy shows like this work is a kind of like, in my opinion, like an immediate return on an investment
Yeah.
where you want, you know, XYZ couple to get together, you want XYZ couple to break up, you want this traumatic thing to happen. You can pretty reliably expect these things to happen within the season. Like, I don't know. I guess I struggle with romance. I struggle with these like kind of East Asian drama romances where everything is about tension. I fear I'm very Western brained in that way.
See, I think it's so fun because I'm someone who
Okay.
fucks on the first date. Like, so for me, it's very interesting to imagine a world where, I spend these 10 weeks not even touching the
Not
person I have a
doing
crush
that.
on. You know what
Okay.
I mean? We're like a brush against the shoulder is like, oh my God.
That's so funny. That's awesome. I see, I just imagine a world where everyone else fucks on the first day. So it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
So it's fine. And
Yeah.
that's why I love Ryan Murphy television, I guess.
Yeah. I have fallen out of the Ryan Murphy sphere, but I was in it
Good
for a
for
long
you.
time.
I sat one time I sat down and watched most of American Horror Story. Bad idea. Most of it's bad.
Yeah. Psychic
Um
damage.
and that's really I guess about it. I've never watched any of his like FX long form dramas. Like I've never been into Pose.
Pose
Um
was good up until a point, and then you have to be like, Jesus, what are you doing?
I mean, I believe that. Unfortunately, it just fell victim to, I'm sorry. I just have cool hip parents.
Mm.
And so I saw that they were watching it. And so in my head, I was always like, well, I can't watch Pose. My parents watch
God, I can't
Pose.
do that.
I can't do that. My parents like that show. And that just seemed so I never watched it. Now I don't think I ever will. Because now it feels like everybody's mad at Billy Porter. Is that
Yeah.
true?
Well, I
That's
feel like
true,
people have
right?
been mad at Billy Porter for Billy Porter being Billy Porter
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he's been kind of like the ellification, like where he just ended up not being the nicest person, and people don't
Yeah.
respond well to that when it comes to celebrity.
That makes me angry. Why do we need our celebrities to be nice?
I don't need them to be
I'm not.
nice.
They're not going to interact with me.
Yeah. Also, I just assume every celebrity is cracked.
Duh.
They're insane.
You have to be cracked to be a celebrity.
Yes, it's the
not play
only way you'll
games.
survive.
Let's not
People
play
mad at
games.
Chapel Roan for yelling at paparazzi. You have to hold your ground with these people.
Okay, I have a slightly different opinion on Chapel Roan.
Okay, are you
Well,
are you over her? I'm
Well, first
over
of all,
her in the sense that they play her at the bar too much, and I'm a bartender.
Oh well, first of all,
so
yes. I never want to hear
tired.
another. I never want to hear another Chapel Roan song ever again in my life. I don't even really like her music that much to begin with.
Yeah, I'm
Because
not a big fan, but I don't
I
hate it.
the running joke I've had about this, and I'm okay having this be put to audio. It's fine. Because I'm expressing upfront that it's a joke. Is that the reason that I don't like Chappell Roan's music is that I believe that the female orgasm is a myth. So there's no, I just don't. It's just not for me. It's not for me. It's all fiction to me.
Gotcha.
No, I'm not. I'm kidding. I promise. I'm kidding. I am kidding. I promise. Um, Something I don't like about like Chappell Roan's attitude is that like I don't appreciate that she's inconsistent in ways that she's
Mm,
like I don't want all this attention except for I'm on the cover of these magazines and I'm talking about how miserable attention makes me in this interview, like in this profile for the Rolling Stone
yeah.
magazine and stuff like that. I don't appreciate shouting at photographers. I think that Chappell Roan has a bigger platform than any one photographer could ever have, like ever think to have. Um, and so I don't kind of appreciate this idea that Chappell Roan is on the like how do I put it? On the receiving, even though of course these paparazzi people often conduct themselves poorly and do misbehave, I do think it is kind of disingenuous. The word is disingenuous, right?
Yeah,
I
disingenuous. Yeah.
Perfect. There was one episode of The Bachelorette one time, like 5 years ago, where they make fun of a guy for mixing it up.
Oh, this is
And
like
that
Jake
is
Gyllenhaal calling out his castmate for saying melancholy instead of melancholy.
exactly. And it is like it's like an indelible scar on my English speaking
Mm,
mind for the rest of my
mm.
life. I have to wonder if it's disingenuous.
My big one is Juju B saying, "Let's
It's
just say
just
talk.
say
Just
talk.
say talk.
Just say talk.
Just say,
I
I'm not
say
gonna
I
conversate with you.
I say that all the time. Whenever anybody says something stupid to me, like that is the first thing that comes to mind. It's just say talk.
Just say talk,
Just
girl."
just say talk. Um, Long story short, I want to like Chappell Roan more because I think what she does is very cool. But I don't like that in an era where it feels like artists, especially women in pop, have like more agency over their careers and their public appearances and their fan interactions than like ever before. That Chappell Roan seems to be the one person, the one outlier in this group of people who can't seem to get it together. It just doesn't really add up to me.
Industry plant.
Industry plant,
And
industry plant.
therefore she doesn't
Except I
have the
don't.
agency. I don't think
Maybe not.
I don't know.
Perhaps she
We don't know
doesn't.
this, but yeah, who
Perhaps that's
knows?
why. I don't know. Again, I just stick to, ultimately, I'd rather have 1 million more annoying but still interesting women in pop music before I take even one more like Shawn Mendes. Um,
Yeah.
but sometimes I think about, I just think about Addison Rae's famous to me, famous in my household tweet. I'm an industry plant. I don't need a job.
Boom.
Get a job. I am an industry plant. I don't need a job. That's the energy I'm trying to take into
Boom.
2025.
The last thing I'll say about Chappell Rowan, I do
Please.
enjoy that she treats the paparazzi like Bjork does. To me, it's bringing back the 2000s are
No,
back.
we gotta. If you're invoking that, I was just talking to one of my coworkers about this. If you're invoking that, we gotta go all the way. The girl has to start swinging immediately. Let's be about it then. Let's be about it then,
You're right.
Chappell. If you're listening, start swinging.
Because the
I won't.
paparazzi can be foul. Just hit them.
Yeah, I mean they can. I mean, yeah, I'm not. It's this thing where I'm not discounting anything she says.
Oh
Like,
yeah, no, yeah, for sure.
I just think that there's a lot of stuff that she's not doing either to maybe like close these gaps of like privacy that she says she wants or
Yeah.
like certain brand things that she says she wants. I thought it was like fucking hilarious that she was like for a woman whose songs have appeared in like Marshalls and Target commercials, she was like, I'm never gonna do an H&M ad. Like, okay, girl, whatever. Whatever you want.
There you
Whatever
go.
you say, girl.
Good luck, babe. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck, babe. Yeah.
And with that, 30 minutes in, we're finally gonna get to the advice. But I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
I'm a gabber. I'm a yapaholic.
I'm a yapper. Unfortunately, it is the thing I do. I yap.
This is how this works, and
That's
I'm sure the listeners, if they have not skipped ahead, because I put the chapter markers in.
Oh,
I'm sure they're living.
You're
I'm sure
so
they're living.
rewarded. You're so kind for that.
And
really,
they better be living. So we're gonna take a
Absolutely.
quick break, and we'll be back with the advice. We're back from our break. It was lovely. We hydrated. How you holding up?
I'm fantastic. I have like a glass of water next to me. And we haven't had like a we only just recently like got a renovated kitchen.
Nice.
And let me tell you, now I feel like I have a glass of water after like 3 months of not having a kitchen. I have a glass of water and I feel like a model.
I love that.
I feel like I'm at like Paris Fashion Week, right? Like I feel like the luckiest girl in the world.
Are you in a? Because you're still in school, correct?
Yes.
So
No,
are you
yes,
in the
I am.
dorms? Are you in like an apartment off
No,
campus?
I live with my beautiful family.
Oh, okay, great. Love that.
Yeah, so it's just it's usually just me and my parents. My brother is in and out because he goes to school out of state.
Mm,
Yeah.
nice. My family, the second we could all leave, scattered. And I
Really?
love my family. Love my family.
Sure.
I'm very close to
Yeah.
them. However, I immediately ran to Philadelphia and then after that ran back to New York and then ran to Chicago. My
Oh my God.
brother
Okay.
ran to Las Vegas and then my sister ran to Las Vegas with him. So yeah, we literally like New Jersey, don't know her. We just like scattered like
Crazy.
roaches.
No, my brother is usually pretty happy out of the house, I will say.
Yeah.
He's happy out of the house. I come like mine kind of comes and goes in waves. I don't love to be here in the winter. That's why I was
Mm,
so grateful. Basically every time I've been to LA within the last year, I've actually been so grateful because it's otherwise a bad weather time for me in the greater DC area.
gets chilly.
And then I guess yeah, I've been going to Japan a lot recently, so maybe I'm trying to get out of maybe I'm trying to get out of here too.
It's
Yeah,
subconsciously fighting its way
it's
out.
subconscious, yeah.
Yeah, this is why I'm in this giant snuggie. For those of you on the
Mm.
Patreon watching the video version, I am in this giant snuggie because it's cold here in Chicago.
It's
It's
cold, I
freezing.
bet. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, down here we have like a ton of snow.
we got like a little bit of snow and that was it. So
Yeah,
I'm thankful for that.
we got a lot for us. It's really, in my opinion, it's quite unpleasant
I
now
hate
that it's
snow.
yeah. I like cold. I like cold, but I hate snow.
Okay.
Because once we start having to plow it and like shovel it, it stops being beautiful and starts immediately becoming disgusting and a chore to navigate.
Yeah, it gets all
So I
muggy and nasty.
exactly. So I do not appreciate too much snow
Yeah, I don't know.
personally.
I don't like any snow, but that's just
Okay,
me.
fair enough.
That's just
Fair
me.
enough.
I just
I
have
like
winter
I like
sports, winter me. No.
I like the immediate aftermath of snow because
When
then
when
you
it's
sometimes
pretty.
you can go outside when it's pretty, or sometimes you can go outside and nobody's driving and it's just like perfectly quiet. That's really nice.
Okay.
I appreciate that experience. Otherwise, get rid of all the snow immediately. I want it gone within a week. I want it maybe two or one or two more times, like after it's happened once, and then
Hmm.
never again.
You want the
Please.
snow when it's like freshly on the ground, laced over everything, where it's almost like a Silent Hill type of vibe because it's so
Absolutely.
like serene and
Absolutely.
quiet, but a little unnerving.
Absolutely.
I
Yes, you
get it.
get it. Yeah, you
I
get
get it.
it.
I get
You
it.
get it.
Let's get into these questions because
Absolutely.
some people don't get it from the things that we're reading and here. Some of the girls just don't get it, and that's okay. We're gonna rattle off a couple of confessions. You know, I love confessions here. I like to hear what the girls like to tell me. You know, something that they anonymously don't want to tell anyone else. Before we get in, we are not experts. We are not
No.
therapists. We are not
No.
professionals of the like. We are just two ranting and raving homosexuals. And, you know, sometimes that's all you can ask for, right?
Absolutely.
The first confession today is
Hmm.
from Against the Grain, and they write, I've always disliked the movie Mean Girls. I don't think it's good. I'm so sorry, everyone. Aside from a couple memes, it's virtually unwatchable.
Go to hell.
I'm not one of these Mean Girl stans, but
Go
I
to
don't
hell.
know if virtually unwatchable is a correct,
No.
you know.
Yeah. Back to no. You need to jail. I can with a swiftness. I believe I'm not like a stan per se. Like I wasn't there cheering and clapping in the audiences when the musical came out. I can assure you of this.
Yeah.
However, comma, I don't play about Mean Girls. Mean Girls is simply one of the best movies of all time. Jail to those who disagree. I'm sorry. Like you just gotta go. You gotta go.
You know, and I'll say I'll be the devil's advocate here. I'm not even like a big Mean Girls fan. However, I understand its important place in our culture, you know,
That's right.
and so I'll give her flowers for that.
That's right.
And I just don't think virtually unwatchable is.
That's an insane thing to say. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's like
I
no,
think
you're
that
not
is a
right.
little. a little
You're not
crazy.
right.
I think
And
it's
I'm sorry.
perfectly passable.
Yeah, and I'm sorry we slotted you into the January episode where Justin showed up because I'm gonna be the
Oh,
meanest person about Mean Girls. This isn't
yeah, I'm
correct.
sorry,
Please fix
girl.
your opinion. Please fix your opinion.
You
Please fix
know,
your
I
opinion.
respect your opinion. However, I want you to write back in and let us know your like hot take on movies that you love. You
Please.
know, I want to know because if Mean Girls is unwatchable to you, I'm curious about what your favorite film is.
You're so shady. You're so shady.
That's
I was and initially I was gonna be like, oh my God, wait, that's so positive of you. But now I'm choosing to be a little bit cynical about it. And it's like, you're evil. You're evil. Like, well, what could you possibly like then?
you
If
know,
Mean
I'm
Girls is
just
bad.
curious. I do notice this
Yeah.
about myself. I do have a way of without directly shading someone, putting just a
Uh-huh.
little twist on it, you know.
Oh
And
no,
I
I
think this
agree.
serves me very well, particularly in Baby Daddies.
Absolutely.
In the
Absolutely, yes.
recast, I think it is my greatest asset.
Sure.
But that being said, I am actually genuinely curious. If you don't like Mean Girls, what are your favorite films? You know,
Okay.
I'm curious what type of person this is, and maybe it's like they don't like comedies and they only
Mhm.
like action films or romance or
Sure.
horror. You know what I mean?
Sure. And I've met a couple people like that. And frequently my advice again is simply change your mind. Like you need to you when it comes to comedies, like no, fix that. Like fix that opinion. Like you need
Find
to
the
watch
whimsy.
something. Find find the well, I don't know. There's a famous Facebook post by Paul Schrader
Okay,
who did say, when I hear the word whimsy, I grab my gun, I reach for my
it's so
gun.
funny.
And I
I love to hate to use it.
Yeah, I okay, that's fair. I get that. Um, yeah, fine. Just enjoy something a little silly, you
Yeah.
freak, you coward.
Yeah, remember that we're
Yeah,
all
come
just,
on.
on a floating rock. Enjoy the comedies.
But
I will
that's
say
yeah.
I don't care for sitcoms.
Oh, I hate
I'm not a
sitcoms.
sitcom watcher.
Sitcoms are the devil. Sitcoms are the devil incarnate to
I'm
me.
not a sitcom watcher in the same way that I don't like
Absolutely
things where
not.
it's monster of the week, like these types of like very week to week things.
I can get into a monster of the week. I
I'll do
can
it if it's got an overarching story. I was literally talking
Yeah,
about this
yeah, yeah,
yesterday with
yeah.
my friend. But if it's like some like my main gripe with the Pokemon anime is that sometimes it almost feels too monster of the week.
There are too many monsters this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, I
Yeah.
kind of want us to let's get to the gym, girl. You know,
Okay. Okay, fair.
let's move the plot.
Okay, that's real. I get that.
Yeah. Um Next up, Nerdy Guy 94 has a confession. He writes, I low-key have a huge ass crush on @Floro Papito, and I love his tasteful news on Instagram and Twitter. Should I entertain it or move on? And to that, I will say, you should have sent this during the David episode. This is not a David podcast. Entertain it, don't entertain it, that don't really concern me, whether or not you do. That's my sister. So
Oh.
I'll leave you with that.
Who is this person?
David is my best friend, my little brother, my little sister.
Oh.
Was on last month's episode.
Oh.
And he's been on like one episode a season.
Okay.
Because the people love to hear from him.
Sure. And that's Mr. Papito?
Yeah. And he's
I see.
yeah,
Well, he is very beautiful.
Yeah, he is one of the OnlyFans girls.
I see. I think in my professional opinion in this realm of social media star, it is always important to remember that this is not there is distance between the two of you. There is distance between the two of you.
Yeah.
There is a distance here. That this is still someone you've seen, though you might have seen somebody's naked body. There is still a barrier of like anonymity or otherwise like unreachableness here.
Yeah.
And just remember that. Sometimes infatuation is fine and it doesn't need to go.
It doesn't need to go anywhere.
Yeah,
sometimes
exactly.
you can just have I think about this every time I ride the subway.
Oh yeah.
I love a subway crush.
Mm-hmm.
I'm obsessed. I will enter the subway. I will form a crush and end a crush in that same subway ride. It's not going anywhere, but I will have a subway crush. I love having a subway crush.
I think more importantly, I just think like online, if you want to add a little spice to your feed, I think that's important. But it doesn't have to be like someone you like, you know.
Yeah, I don't think just because like someone is like someone like let's say nerdy guy 94 like
Hmm.
knows, right? But I feel like if they knew, they would just say I have a huge crush on David instead of putting
Okay,
the
yeah,
at. You know what I mean? I feel like
exactly.
so this feels a little more in that realm of just social media kind of crush. And yeah, I don't think every crush has to go somewhere. I think,
Exactly.
you know, that being yeah, I feel like if especially knowing how David is, you know, that's a busy man. Um, I just don't know if entertaining it will go the way you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but this is not a David
Maybe,
podcast, so maybe slide in his DMs, see how that
maybe
works.
slide in his DMs if you want, or maybe we just keep it in the comments.
Yeah,
We
or
keep it,
keep it like
yeah,
yeah, we love a reply guy, you know, just keep it in the replies,
yeah.
diva.
We love a reply guy.
Yeah.
Boom.
CLB69, which I'm wondering what that stands for, but I don't know. Usually, when I hook up, I tend to tense up to where I can't perform my manly duties without some
Mm.
kind of help. Is this a normal thing or should I be concerned? I think this is a type of thing best consulted with a doctor.
I mean, I wish there were more details here.
I
You
will
know
say
what
that
I
I do
mean?
wish there were more details.
Because I would like to know, like, is it accompanied by anxiety?
Because
Do you?
that was going to be my next thing.
Mhm.
ED, whereas it can be very much a medical issue, can also be an anxiety issue, a stress issue.
Absolutely.
It
Yeah.
could be like tied to so many different things. It could be like a mental block. It could be, for me, I think about this after when the pandemic hit,
Hmm.
stuck in the house. More importantly, I was stuck in my tiny, tiny, tiny Brooklyn apartment,
Ooh, okay.
depressed, sad, not seeing anybody. When all that lifted and I got back to like hooking up with people, I was a wreck. Let's just say it took me a bit to, you know,
Okay, yeah.
get back to fighting weight, right? And I think
Okay,
part of
yeah.
that is was like a big mental block
Mm.
of a having not seen anybody, having not had sex with anybody, um, primarily just like jerking off in the house because no one's allowed to leave the house. You know what I mean? And so
Uh-huh, yeah,
I think like a
absolutely.
lot of these types of things wrapped up into this like mess in my head. And it wasn't until I kind of like worked through that and got to kind of the bottom of why I was feeling so much anxiety when it came to hooking up
Yeah.
that things started to change. So
Hmm.
I think maybe even before you see a doctor, think about those types of things. Think about
Yeah,
what could
sit
be going
down.
on within
Yeah.
your own body, anxiety wise,
Yeah.
mentally, stress
Check
wise.
in with yourself first. Figure out if you are exactly, if you're stressed out, if you're anxious, where that's coming from. This is a holistic question. It's not just about your penis. Like,
Yeah, it's not just like
yeah,
go to a doctor, you get a pill. Because I think
exactly.
while that would be a really easy answer to it, I think
Hmm.
sometimes there are other underlying factors to this, you know?
Exactly.
Um,
Ways we can figure out this problem before resulting to medical intervention.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, good luck.
Check in with you.
Yeah, check
Good
in with
luck.
you, Diva. Figure it
Yeah.
out. Really
Yeah.
just look at your penis or look at your
Absolutely.
hole. You
Look
know,
at your
bend over,
heart.
look in the mirror.
Look at your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom. You got this, sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
You're gonna be okay.
Boom. Next up, we have a audio submission. I love a voicemail.
Let's hear it.
Let's hop over to this.
Hey Diva. Okay, so cutting right to the chase. I have social anxiety and can really struggle to lead conversations with strangers and figure out just what to talk to them about. So on all of my dating profiles, I have my special interests listed. And on Grindr, this guy hit me up about Pokemon. And I am a Pokemon obsessive. So we headed off like immediately and had like a lot of really interesting Pokemon oriented conversation. And he was so hot. So we set up this date and I'm really excited for it, getting ready. He comes and picks me up. We go on this date and we started to talk. And we'd only talked about Pokemon in the DMs and stuff. Um, so I'm trying to talk to him about Pokemon. It's truly like the only thing that I know about this guy. And in speaking with him, I find that he actually doesn't know anything about Pokemon. And it's not the difference of me being a hyper fan and him being a casual fan. It's like he really doesn't know anything. So I'm confused. I'm like, where did all this conversation before come from? And I guess I find out that he had just been Googling information to try and impress me. And I don't know how I feel about that. On the one hand, it's really sweet to try to put interest in somebody's interest to catch their attention. And he was really hot. But on the other time, I feel lied to. And now me with social anxiety, I came like prepared to really like geek out about Pokemon and stuff. And we're on this date and I can't talk to him about anything. He's just sitting here talking about like the grind set and everything. What do you do in this situation? I know that I'm largely at fault for being socially inept and not being able to talk to people, but I don't know how I feel about this.
That's fascinating.
Right? I don't think I've ever heard of kind of a situation where someone lied about something as dorky as Pokemon to like get in someone's pants.
Yeah, especially like to such an advanced degree, right?
Yeah.
Why even bother?
Why
even bother at that rate?
Yeah, I do want to start off. Sister, you said I feel lied to. You don't feel lied to. You were lied to.
You have been lied to.
You have been lied to.
So you have been tricked. You have been deceived.
You've been tricked.
I hate to break it to you, dear. That is, I guess it's a matter of like, in this context, like, how do you feel about that? Do you expect follow through on any of this Pokemon conversation? Like, do you need somebody to match your Pokemon freak? I have found personally that I at least need someone to be like slightly interested in.
They said special interest, so I think for them.
So that means like this is at an 11. Like we're the dials turned way up, right? No, I know that language, girl. I see you.
Yeah, so they're into. So for them, they probably needed.
Yeah, so
like, if you're gonna talk about it, you can talk about it, right?
Like you're gonna have to contend with the fact, like, do you want someone who probably doesn't like know what the Masuda method is? Like maybe someone who would like listen to you talk about like, I don't know, like chain fishing and like IV breeding and stuff like that. Like, but who doesn't know any of it. Are you cool with that, right?
Yeah.
Moreover, I think the next big problem here is we have to evaluate, like, is lying to this degree a red flag?
That's my thing. I think while up front it is like, oh, that's somewhat cute that they lied to get in my pants. I think the more overarching thing for me is, what else are they willing to lie about?
Right.
Even towards like a second date, or even like, you know, if you was to say, what else are we lying about? If you want to get in my pants that bad that you're willing to lie about Pokemon instead of just like saying, hey, I think you're really hot. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, there are other ways to take me on a date than to fake being into something that I'm into.
Right. It's, you know, it's funny. It's very Shakespearean, appropriately enough, I think. I can only imagine this outcome being like a complete folly, because either we have to keep lying about whatever thing we're not actually that interested in, you know, or we have to like immediately break this relationship off because we have to dare to find something in common with each other that, like, you know, maybe doesn't exist.
Yeah, and not to mention, when the lie came out, they just kept talking about the grind set, which like
that
also
is
just
really unfortunate. That's the really unfortunate part.
And that's like the hard part, right? If they like were like, all right, sorry, I don't know that much about Pokemon. Like I like Bulbasaur. You know what I mean? Because there are those people who are like, I love Pokemon, and then
I love
like,
Pikachu,
Bulbasaur, Squirtle,
you know? Absolutely,
yeah. Like, and I'm all for people interacting with things that they're interested in and how whatever way seems fit to them. Amen. I personally don't think I vibe that much with people who only play Pokemon Go. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
I need a little more of an in-depth kind of interaction with the franchise.
Yeah, agreed.
However, that's not what happened here. This guy just fully has zero interaction with the franchise.
Yeah.
So he just lied.
He lied bad. And I don't know. I'm not sure of how much of an indicator of like a problem I feel this is, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why. I can't bring myself to be like particularly disturbed by
Oh
this.
no, I'm not fearing for their life. I
Yeah.
am. I
But
feel
I'm
like
not
it's
even, yeah,
innocuous up front, but it does beg the question: what else would they lie about?
sure. But if we're just here for sex, if everything else is above board,
Oh, if it's
I don't
just sex
know.
fully, but they were like on a
Yeah.
date.
Date,
So
yeah.
that's where I'm like, that's where I start to feel a little more
That's where it
murky.
gets a little bit more complicated.
Because if it was
I'm
like, do you want to
still
fuck? Just say that.
fair, yeah.
You know?
I'm still kind of like, this could still be fun. This could still be fun. Maybe feel this out. Let's see if this is an indicator, an indicator of something worse.
Yeah.
But if it's not,
If anything, the grind set's more of a red flag than
the
anything.
grind set is way more of a red flag to me.
Way
Absolutely,
more.
absolutely, yes.
Way more. Because then he's going to start talking to you about like Joe Rogan. You know?
Yeah, or
when he
like,
realizes he can't talk about Pokemon, he's going to swap over to Joe Rogan.
yeah,
It's
he's
just
gonna start
not
talking
gonna be
about
fun.
Bitcoin,
Yeah.
drop shipping, Andrew
Mm-hmm.
Tate, cleaning your room. Yeah, it's gonna become a whole mess. And
God.
I'm not looking forward to that
Yeah.
for
And I
you.
think that is probably the biggest thing. However, they said that he's really hot. So I would still
But
just fuck him just to fuck him.
exactly. There are a lot of things a really hot person is allowed to get away with.
Yeah, I've
So I
fucked
think
tons of terrible people,
exactly,
but that's all
yeah.
it was. I didn't marry him, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
you just use him and toss him.
Yeah, like it's whatever.
And he won't take offense to it because he's too busy grinding, you know?
Exactly. He's on that grind set.
Yeah, that's kind of like the best thing about
Yeah.
those types of people. It's
He's
like,
a high value male, and if you don't secure him like to him, that's probably your loss. Like yeah, like
yeah, like
I
you
wouldn't
can
worry about
fully
it too
play those
hard.
types of people and
Mhm.
they'll chalk it up to you not being able to match the
Yeah,
game
low
and
vibrational or
yeah,
something.
low vibrational hookup.
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
so I think that is the perfect chance to pump and dump
Yeah, why not?
work.
They're used to it. Look at the what's it? The Hawk Tuah girl. Didn't she do some kind of pump and dump or something?
Yeah, she had like her Bitcoin or whatever exploded and she disappeared off the face of the earth.
Good for her.
Yeah. I cannot stop thinking about the post that said that Ellen was a natural apex predator
Yes,
and
yes.
it
Oh
just
my
rings so true
God.
because Ellen would have sucked this bitch for everything.
Absolutely.
And the Hawk Tuah girl would have been like a 1 week thing and it would have
Yeah,
been over.
Ellen would have gotten her little claws in Haley Hawk Tuah, and she would like a praying mantis would have like consumed her on live television
Live
and then
television.
sold like t-shirts of the event of the consumption, and it would have been like news for maybe 2 weeks tops, and then we would
Yeah.
have gone on to something normal to be obsessed
Yeah.
with.
So
But
she may have
yeah,
been unnecessary
I
evil.
think so. I think so. I think we need to bring back mean celebrities. We need to put the sharks back into the water
Yeah.
such that we've got people getting eaten left and right. I
You hear
think
that,
this is
Billy
just not
Porter?
working. Yeah, Billy Porter, your time.
Your time is
Billy
now.
Porter, your time is up. Except it's not because
Yeah.
I don't think that's true. I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, I don't know. Who knows? I will
Yeah.
say I've noticed because now that Ellen isn't having weird niche internet celebrities on her show,
Yeah.
it's moved over to where like Jimmy Fallon and other late night hosts are
Oh,
doing it.
that's so true, isn't it?
And
Oh
you
my
can
God.
see how much they despise it. You know, you can see
I'm
the
sure.
the lack of joy as they
Yeah.
interview the Rizzler and the
I'm sure
Costco
Kimmel's
guys.
really mean about it. I would in a way that I probably don't like.
Yeah, in a way where like Ellen probably also was mean about it, but
Oh yeah.
I think she probably veiled it in a different way.
Was probably more tactful about it.
Yeah, whereas I feel
Yeah.
like the rest of the late night crew is probably just like these chicken shit gigs, like where you're picking these people.
Yeah.
They're probably a lot more rude about it.
I have to interview these freaks, these backwater internet hicks.
Yeah, exactly. A blip on my social
blip
sphere.
on my
Blah
radar.
blah blah.
I could be going to Taylor Swift's birthday party or something.
Yeah, I could be interviewing fucking I don't know.
I don't know. Who cares?
Who knows? Who cares?
Who knows?
Anyway, I think final word on this. Fuck him. Drop
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Don't date him.
Unless he's nice, though. Unless he's nice.
I don't know.
But I don't think it's
possible?
likely.
I feel like nice and
likely.
grind set are like diametrically opposed.
Incompatible. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say skip it otherwise. But
if he's hot,
do a little
sucky sucky.
Do a little sucky sucky. Do what you have to do.
Yeah.
Do what you have to
nut.
do. Exactly. And then get lost.
Yeah, maybe you can like enter like a very fun, since he likes lying, maybe like enter a fun role play scenario with him.
Yeah. And maybe you can just do improv.
Improv, yeah. You could be the gym leader and he could be the Pokemon trainer. And then you're really testing his lack of knowledge.
But now we're getting into like all of the like dirty manga like out there. Like that's like now we're getting a little bit too real.
Yeah.
Now we're getting a little too real. If he's into that, maybe that could like be beneficial.
Maybe there's like an AO3 story with your name on it.
Absolutely.
Just waiting to get written.
Yes, sir.
Send us updates because we love to hear that. Hey, everybody. Remember last episode where I said I want season 3 to be on an hour per episode format? Well, Justin and I had a little too much fun gabbing, and so we ended up talking for 2 hours. So in order to keep with the current format, I'm going to release this episode in 2 parts. The second part sees us get into Ozempic, whether someone cheating is your problem, and an all new segment that I'm calling Nasty Plot. In the meanwhile, you can follow Justin over at Just Gross with 3 S's. You can follow me over at Krogunk and Poison Touch Pod. And if you're liking the show, make sure to give us 5 stars and leave a review. It really helps us with the algorithm stuff. Yeah, I appreciate y'all, and I'll catch y'all next time, all right?